All right, let's just jump right in. For so many consultants, the dream is, well, it's pretty simple, right? You want to break away, go it alone, be your own boss. But what if I told you that whole just me dream? What if that's actually the biggest risk you can take? In this explainer, we're going to break down exactly why that path, the one that seems so safe, is really a trap.
I mean, how many of you have said this to yourselves? I just want to work for myself. No team, no employees, just me. Yeah, that probably sounds pretty familiar. It's like the anthem for professionals who are ready to take that leap. And look, the appeal is so obvious. You get freedom, you get control, you get simplicity. It's a really powerful and, honestly, a totally understandable place to start.
So let's talk about the just me dream. We have to acknowledge this whole idea is appealing for a really good reason. I mean, in the beginning, it feels so safe. It's lean, it's efficient, and hey, you get to keep all the profits. For a little while it works. It works beautifully. But that phrase right there, for a while, that's the key.
And that brings us to the solopreneur's hidden risk. Because here's what happens. Eventually, as your business starts to grow, and it doesn't even have to be a lot, you start to uncover this hidden risk, this fragility that's just baked right into the structure of being a one-person show. So let's go ahead and peel back that layer.
Okay, and here's the hidden truth. A one-person operation. It's probably the riskiest version of a business there is. And this is so important. It's not because you're not capable, not at all. It's because you have to carry every single role. The risk isn't about your skill or your talent. It's a structural problem. When you are the business, you are also every single department inside that business. And right there, that's the fundamental flaw.
I mean, think about all the hats you have to wear. You're not just the quantity surveyor doing the work. Nope. You're also the project lead. You're in charge of business development. You're the finance manager, the marketer, the admin. You're doing the invoicing, quality control. The list just goes on and on. And look, even if you are absolutely world-class at your main skill, successfully juggling all of these other roles, that is a completely different and frankly exhausting challenge. So what happens when this model gets put under pressure? Well, this is when the cracks start to appear. And the thing is, these consequences, they are pretty much inevitable when you're carrying everything alone. And they usually look and feel very, very similar for most solo consultants. First, you hit capacity. And it happens way faster than you'd expect. It actually starts as a good problem, right? You're great, so more work comes in. But with just one of you, your time is finite. And bam, you've hit a ceiling you didn't even see coming. So what's the next logical step? Well, you start working late nights just to keep up. You try to create more time, which usually means borrowing it from your evenings, your weekends, basically from your personal life. That work-life balance you wanted so badly, it just starts to vanish. And then there's the other side of that coin, because every single gap in work becomes your stress. Being maxed out is stressful, for sure, but when a project ends and that calendar is looking a little empty, that's a whole different kind of stress. It's that feast or famine anxiety, and you have to absorb all of it yourself. There's no team, no buffer to cushion that blow. And this is the big one. One sick week can literally wipe out a month of revenue. The entire business is you. So if you get sick or you need a vacation or there's a family emergency, the revenue just stops. The business stops. One bad week can have a massive financial impact. It's not just exhausting, you guys, it's incredibly fragile.
All of this really brings us to the true cost of going solo. See, that idea that you're keeping it simple by working alone, it's one of the biggest myths in the entire consulting world. It's time we debunk that, once and for all.
Okay, let's look at this myth versus reality. The myth is that you're keeping it simple. But what's the reality? The reality is you have no leverage, you have no buffer, there's no redundancy, there's no support system, and there's absolutely no scalability. You have no ability to take on bigger projects, no cushion for slow months, no backup if you get sick, and you definitely can't scale beyond the hours you can physically work. That's not simple. That is just plain vulnerable.
But look, here's the good news. The turning point isn't about going out and hiring a huge team. That's not what we're talking about. The real solution, the real turning point, is a strategic shift that's actually way more accessible. It's all about building support systems.
All right, let's get into building your support system. So what does that actually look like in practice? Let's talk about how you can transform your solo practice from something fragile into a stable consultancy that can actually handle the ups and downs.
Here it is. This is your support system toolkit. And I want you to think of these as strategic necessities, not luxuries. Things like having subcontractors you can trust, finding some VA or admin support, creating repeatable processes and templates that save you hours, nailing down clear pricing and setting boundaries with your clients, even having small specialist partnerships. I mean, think about it. Trusted subcontractors let you take on more work without having to hire someone full-time. A virtual assistant can take all that admin stuff off your plate that just drains your energy. Every single one of these things builds leverage and creates a buffer against the unknown.
And really, this is the core mindset shift. Confidence doesn't come from headcount. It comes from knowing that you're not carrying everything alone. It comes from that deep-seated knowledge that you are not the single point of failure in your business. It's knowing you have systems, you have people in your corner, and that frees you up to do what you actually do best. So we'll leave you with this final thought to really reflect on. Is your business supporting your life, or is it overwhelming it? I mean, take a really hard, honest look at your consultancy right now. Was it built to support the life you actually want to live, or has it become the very thing that's overwhelming you? The answer to that question? Well, that's what will tell you if it's time to start building your support system.